Good morning all. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss the topic separation of DML and choice of specific loadings from third unit design of DC machines in the subject design of electrical apparatus. Already we have derived the equation for power developed in armature of a DC machine, and that equation have a term D square L. Our objective is to find out the main dimensions D and L. So D square L term we will be estimating from the power developed equation of DC machine, and from that D square L value we will be separating D and L of this machine, considering the following factors like pole proportion, moment of inertia, peripheral speed, voltage between adjacent commutator segments. So pole proportion means it is the pole or length to pole pitch ratio or length to pole pitch ratio, and usually this is the actually pole of a DC machine, and it is a rectangular pole, or we can say that it is a square pole. Suppose if this B and L are equal, it is a square pole construction. But in actual practical cases, this length will be slightly greater than this pole or length. So that is rectangular pole construction. So this square pole, rectangular pole, or sometimes circular pole will also be used. And these are all will depends upon how the construction of pole reduces the mean turn length of the armature winding. So length of mean turn of this winding decide the necessity of square pole, rectangular pole or circular pole. Actually the length of mean turn of the field winding will be very lesser in circular pole construction, but constructing this, manufacturing this circular pole construction is very difficult. So the second option, second optimal choice of the field pole is square pole criteria. So if square pole criteria is considered, this polar length B will be equal to the axial length of the armature L. So in such cases, this L will be equal to B, that will be equal to psi into tau. Okay, the value of this psi is going to be between 0.64 to 0.72, and actually this psi is a form factor, field form factor. Tau is the pole pitch pi d by P. Okay, so if you assume that it is a square pole criteria, or if it is mentioned in the problem it is square pole machine, L will be equal to B. So this L by tau or B by tau both are same, so that ratio will be assumed between 0.64 to 0.72. Usually the value of the psi, or this is field form factor, usually between 0.64 to 0.72. So that is L by tau ratio is equal to the psi. Okay, L by tau ratio or the psi value will be vary between 0.64 to 0.72 in case of square pole criteria machine. So in this field pole construction, this BP is the width of the pole body. BP is the width of the pole body. B is the pole arc length. Actually, this pole will be having two sections. One is pole body and another one is pole shoe. And this arc-like construction is the pole shoe of the machine. And so, including this pole body and pole shoe, we are representing it as pole arc length B. So in square pole criteria machine, this pole arc length B will be equal to axial length of the armature L. So in such cases, this B by tau will be equal to L by tau, that is equal to psi, and that is equal to 0.64 to 0.72. So if it is known, actually tau is pi d by P, and substituting this pi d by P for this tau, we will be getting a relationship between L and D, that is L in terms of D or D in terms of L. So usually we will be getting D in terms of L, so that in the equation we will be having D square L. So now L in terms of D we will be substituting in this equation, we will be getting D cube. Or in reverse manner, if you substitute for D in terms of L, you will be getting L square term. So in both the cases we can, usually this is the procedure we will be following. We will be getting we will be substituting L in terms of D. Already D square is there, so D cube term will be there. So then from that D cube we will be finding out D first, and then we will be substituting in turn in the L equation to separately find out the values of D and L in a decimation. So this is the first factor. Based on that we can easily separate D and L in a decimation. And these are all three other factors. This peripheral speed, so that should not exceed 30 meters per second is another criteria. And moment of inertia depends upon whether the machine is used in control applications, wherein the moment of inertia will be lesser. But if the machine is used for a high inertia machines, that is for impact load applications. Impact load means suddenly more load will be applied. So in such cases, the machine will be having larger diameter. And the last criteria is voltage between adjacent commutator segments that should not exceed 30 volt. Actually, this ECM is the voltage between adjacent commutator segments, because this commutator is the limitation in a DC machine for a voltage rating. If the voltage between adjacent commutator exceeds this particular value, the spark level in the DC machine may exceed, and at one stage the spark will become cumulative and it will entirely damage the commutator of the machine. And so this commutator voltage between adjacent commutator segment is another limitations in the design of DC machine. Okay, so these four are the factors on which we will be separating out the D and L parameters from the power output equation of a DC machine. So in the output equation, already we have derived in the previous video lecture class discussed, and it is D square L term is there. But now we have derived a criteria to separate this D and L from this D square L. And this equation also we have discussed in the previous class. In most cases, we will be assuming this PA will be equal to P by eta for generator and PA will be equal to P for motors if the motor is used for high capacity applications. Okay, and two more factors we are going to discuss now is the limiting values for this D and L, and that is what should be the maximum value of this length and the diameter of the armature, and finally we will be discussing about the two more factors: specific loadings, specific electric loading and specific magnetic loading. So first is the choice of armature length. So after discussing the equation, I will tell these factors. That is, it depends upon the cost, ventilation, voltage between adjacent commutator segments and specific magnetic loading. So length of the armature, actually we are going to get from this equation. So that is, see here the induced EMF is BLV, and V is the peripheral velocity of the armature, and that will be equal to this, that is voltage. See, for better commutation we have already studied that voltage between adjacent commutator, the limit is 30 volt. To achieve this, the induced EMF in a conductor should not exceed this 7.5 by NCTC. Okay, so on substituting that condition 7.5 by NCTC over here, and so this is the induced EMF in a conductor as per equation BLV. And so from this, so this is the maximum voltage. So what we are getting is the maximum value of armature core length from this. Okay, so this is the maximum value of armature core length can be there for not exceeding this voltage criteria for better commutation, that is voltage between adjacent commutator segment for better commutation. And the next factor is the choice of armature diameter. So armature diameter, that we will derive from this equation for power output in the armature, and so that is inch Ia into 10 to the power minus 3. So we know the EMF equation, that is EMF induced in each conductor is Ez, and total number of armature conductors is Ez, and by parallel path is armature current is Ia. By A is the current induced in the armature conductors. Okay, and so on substituting that we can get this equation. So here this Ez and then pi d AC for Iz. The see in this equation this Ia by A is Iz, so Iz into Z is pi d into AC. So Ez into pi d into AC. So from this we are getting for diameter of the machine, so that is Pa by this equation, and so this is the maximum value of armature diameter a machine can have. Okay, so this is how we are deriving the equation for the maximum value of armature length and maximum value of armature diameter. And so this armature, these are the limiting values of armature diameter. So from this equation we can say that it is these parameters, that is output power, AC and EZ. AC is the specific electric loading and EZ. Okay, so that is actually given here: peripheral speed, pole pitch, specific electric loading, induced EMF per conductor, and power output. And the length of the armature will be depends upon the specific magnetic loading voltage between adjacent commutator segments, and the other parameters are constant in relation. Okay, so next topic is the choice of specific magnetic loading and specific electric loading. And magnetic loading, so it is depends upon flex density, frequency of flex reversal, and size of the machine. Okay, flex density, the limitation is V average is chosen such that flex density at the root of the teeth. Okay, at the root of the teeth it should not exceed 2.2 Webers per meter square. And then Bg, that is maximum flex density will be between 0.55 to 1.15 Webers per meter square, and the corresponding value of B average is 0.4 to 0.8 Webers per meter square. And choice of specific electric loading will depends upon these parameters related to this temperature rise, speed of the machine, voltage, size of the machine, armature reaction, and commutation. And here again the AC value, that is specific electric loading, because it is armature reaction and all will depends upon the specific electric loading. So that value should be already, it is, this point is discussed for a DC machine. It will be between 15,000 to 50,000 ampere conductors per meter. Okay, so in today's class we have discussed about how to separate D and L from the output equation of DC machine. So that depends upon four parameters: pole proportion, peripheral speed, moment of inertia, and voltage between adjacent commutator segments. And pole proportion, we will be choosing the square pole criteria, wherein this L by tau ratio will also be equal to B by tau ratio, and that value will be equal to psi, and that is 0.64 to 0.72. And peripheral speed is 30 meters per second. Moment of inertia depends upon for which application this machine is going to be used, and voltage between adjacent commutator segments should not exceed this 30 volt. And in the next topic we discussed about the maximum value of armature diameter and armature length, and this is the maximum value of armature length which is derived from the voltage between adjacent commutator segments, and the maximum value of armature diameter is derived from output equation of the DC machine. And then choice of specific magnetic loading will mainly depends upon the flex density and frequency of flex reversal, and that values of flex density is given here. And choice of specific electric loading will depends upon the value of this AC, and that value for a DC machine should be between this 15,000 to 50,000 ampere conductors per meter. So in today's class we have discussed about the separation of D and L parameters from the output equation of DC machine based upon the pole proportion. And another topic is the choice of specific electric loading and specific magnetic loading. Thanks for watching. In the next class we will discuss about the selection of number of poles in a DC machine.